quiet winter's night in 1996, the peaceful countryside of England was shattered by a brutal murder that would leave the world stunned. This shocking crime captivated the world and remained one of the most intriguing and mysterious murder cases. This case will take you on an emotional roller coaster as we explore the dark twists and turns of the complex case of Lee Harvey and Tracie Andrews. Who killed Lee Harvey? Was it the result of a violent outburst or something more sinister? The answers to these questions and more will be revealed in this gripping tale of mystery and intrigue. Lee Harvey was a 25-year-old bus driver, always striving to be the best man he could be for his daughter and the people around him. His people cherished his playful nature and the joy he brought into their lives. Lee was a proud dad to his young daughter, Danielle, whom he adored with all his heart. Despite separating from Danielle's mother, Lee and Danielle's mother remained amicable and worked together in raising their daughter. Tracie Andrews was a 27-year-old aspiring model when she met Lee in a club in 1994. The two instantly connected and began a passionate and fast-moving relationship. Although Tracie was possessive over her partners and their relationship was volatile, Lee was equally jealous and arguments were common. Despite this, Lee moved into Tracie's apartment after only 3 months of dating. Tracie had a young daughter, Carla, who was 1 year younger than Lee's daughter, Danielle. Tracie's previous relationship with Carla's father had been chaotic and ended when Carla was just a baby. Tracie struggled with feelings of insecurity and paranoia that often resulted in controlling behavior. Her insecurities caused her to be possessive over her partners, and her relationships were often tumultuous. As a child, Tracie's life was full of difficulties, a struggle that began when her father left the family home when she was only 6 years old. Over time, her relationship with Lee became increasingly toxic and codependent, and they would argue frequently. Neighbors would often hear them yelling at each other for hours, and the police were called to the apartment on several occasions to intervene. The relationship between Tracie and Lee was highly damaging and dysfunctional, leaving both of them in a perpetual state of distress and anguish. Although the toxic nature of the relationship was evident, Lee continually returned to try and make things work with Tracie. The couple's hopes were raised with the news of Tracie's pregnancy, but this joy was short-lived as Tracie suffered a devastating miscarriage. The loss of Lee deepened the already fragile state of the relationship between the couple. Despite the ongoing struggles in their relationship, Lee decided to propose to Tracie after 6 months, which concerned everyone close to the couple. On November 30th, to reconcile, Tracie and Lee visited the Malbrook pub, where they attempted to calm things down. Late into the evening, the couple left the pub and commenced back to Worcestershire, but only one returned alive, leaving the other's fate shrouded in mystery and uncertainty. The sound of an approaching car outside the Harvey family home filled Lee's mother, Maureen, with dread. Lee often returned to his parents' house to calm himself after having an argument with Tracie, yet this time was different. Maureen anxiously waited for Lee to return, but instead of Lee, she was met with a dreaded sight. 2 police officers walking up to the driveway. The cops were there to deliver gut-wrenching news. The evening took a disastrous turn when Lee was attacked and suffered over 40 stab wounds. The attack was so fierce that it took Lee's life, and Tracie, although injured, miraculously managed to survive. According to Tracie, a neighbor in one of the nearby cottages witnessed Tracie standing by Lee's car, with Lee lying motionless on the ground, covered in blood. The neighbor immediately assisted Tracie by calling the police, but unfortunately it was too late to save Lee's life. Tracie was later taken to the Royal Alexandria Hospital for treatment. The investigation into the murder of Lee Harvey was extensive, with detectives working tirelessly to piece together what happened that night. According to Tracie's statement, she and Lee left the pub in Lee's vehicle at around 10 p.m. However, they soon found themselves in a high-speed pursuit when a shadowy Sierra started tailing them and flashing its beams. Despite Tracie's pleas for Lee to slow down and not acknowledge the other car, they continued their reckless race down the tight lane. The Sierra eventually passed them, leading to a physical altercation between Lee and the other car's driver. The passenger also got out, and a fight broke out, with both Tracie and Lee getting hit. Tracie stumbled and fell, but when she got up, she saw that Lee had been fatally stabbed during the conflict. As Lee took his final breath, Tracie held him in her arms as the assailants ran away from the scene. Maureen and Ray, Lee's parents, were left with many questions after his untimely death. They were curious as to why someone would stab their son and leave Tracie unharmed. They struggled to reach Tracie until they finally spoke with her stepfather, who told them she had forgotten her number. Tracie's avoidance of Lee's family caused more confusion. However, Maureen remained supportive and believed Tracie's story, as she was told by police that Tracie had also been attacked. On December 30th, Tracie participated in a press appeal to help catch the two men involved in the attack. During the appeal, Tracie described the men and the events that led to the altercation. She also asked the other car's driver to come forward, promising no consequences. Tracie's press conference caused a stir as her account of events contradicted the police's own version. She claimed to have left the pub around 10 p.m. with Lee, but couldn't give an exact time. During her statement, detectives interrupted her and ended the conference prematurely. This sparked speculation as to why Tracie wasn't holding the drivers accountable, despite her saying that he started the fight. The police were taken aback by her claims, as the driver was considered a potential accessory to murder. But the public and media were left with more questions than answers about the tragic event. Tracie's description of the attackers as having steroid-fueled rage caused many people to doubt her innocence. One journalist even went as far as to declare that Tracie was the real killer. The press conference yielded some results, however, as two witnesses came forward claiming to have seen Lee's white Ford Escort stop in the road for no apparent reason. Sadly, just one day after the press conference, Tracie tried to take her own life with a pill overdose. In her suicide note, she stated her inability to continue on without Lee. After being treated in the hospital, Maureen and Ray visited Tracie, and she grabbed Maureen's hand, saying she was sorry for what she had done. Despite Tracie's claims of a road rage incident, the police found no evidence to support it. The road was thoroughly checked for tire marks or any other signs of a high-speed chase, but it was completely clear. The location of Lee's blood in the car also didn't match Tracie's story of the attack happening outside the vehicle. No witnesses could confirm the presence of a dark car, and there was a substantial time gap between Lee being stabbed and Tracie raising the alarm. The only evidence came from a child who lived near the lane who heard an argument but only two voices, and the car was stationary and parked. These inconsistencies raised suspicions and cast doubt on Tracie's account of events. The examination of Lee's body showed 100 strands of Tracie's hair in his hand, indicating a physical fight. Lee's wounds pointed to a Swiss Army knife as the murder weapon. Blood on Tracie's clothing had a splash pattern, contradicting her claim of cradling Lee. Testing of her clothing confirmed bloodstains, including a penknife imprint on her boot. Tracie's frequent bathroom visits at the hospital led authorities to believe she disposed of the knife there. In June of 1997, Tracie Andrews' murder trial began 7 months after Lee Harvey's death. During the trial, Tracie maintained her innocence and claimed she and Lee had a tumultuous relationship, but she would never kill him. However, she made a shocking revelation in court that she had actually gotten an abortion, not a miscarriage, after another fight with Lee. This outburst led to a heated cross-examination by the prosecution. After a few weeks of trial, Tracie was found guilty and sentenced to life in prison with a minimum of 14 years. A year into her sentence, Tracie filed an appeal claiming a miscarriage of justice due to the damaging publicity surrounding her case, but the appeal was denied. In 1999, she finally wrote a letter to her lawyer admitting to killing Lee, but claimed it was only self-defense. She said a fight between the pair escalated, and Lee pulled out a knife, leading to a struggle in which she lost control and stabbed him. However, this self-defense claim was disputed, as most of the stab wounds were found to be on Lee's back, leading many to believe he was trying to retreat and escape the attack. Tracie Andrews was released from prison after serving her 14-year sentence for the murder of Lee Harvey. Tracie was ordered to stay away from Lee's family. The case of Lee Harvey and Tracie Andrews is a tragic tale of love and betrayal that has left a lasting impact on the nation. The thought of Tracie being free continues to burden Lee's family and friends with immense sadness and grief. Maureen wrote a book highlighting the lingering pain and sorrow caused by the loss of Lee, which serves as a testament to the lasting impact that violent crime can have on families and communities. Thank you for watching True Crime Prime. Kindly subscribe to our channel and remember to like, share, and comment.